feel like the top side of the map was not always looking as cohesive, but Core and Yon were playing very well and were kind of those standouts.
All right, let's see how 100 Thieves wants to play this one, as it is the Aurora, Ziggs, Varus banned out by 100 Thieves, Azir, Gwen, Pantheon banned out by TL. Much less targeted bans on the Team Liquid side. These are just generally good picks across those 3 roles that they want to remove. And 100 Thieves is looking like they are just going to go with a fast first lock Senna here.
Yeah, and that's a little surprising. I mean, FBI is a really excellent Senna player, right? And I actually did like TL's Senna ban on 4-5 last draft, because I did think 100 Thieves could have been potentially setting up for a Senna pick with that draft as well. But there are ways to deal with her. So picking her early in this draft, in my opinion, is a little bit risky. Obviously, one of the ways to deal with her is the Lucian. The Lucian is out because of Fearless.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, how it actually goes. Do they try to match scaling with scaling? Because sometimes people will just go like Smolder or Zeri and play like Zeri Lulu or things like that.
For free.
You're saying, okay, Senna can't actually punish me that much early on, and I'm just going to scale alongside you. So you can kind of go column A, or you can go column B, where you're saying, all right, we're going to play like a hard 2v2 lane and try to slam you with like poke or whatever, things like that. So it'll be interesting to see the approach.
Weil die spielen halt Aphelios, wisst ihr? Die spielen halt Aphelios.
Elect to take.
And already we see the Wukong Annie combination locked in, super potent combination. We saw this working out so well for so many teams at MSI. Meanwhile, River is on the J4. I would say like one of his signature, if not his signature.
Ja, finde ich okay, weil du, was pickst du noch?
When I think of River,
du kannst theoretisch in 4-5 kannst du Aphelios Fresh gehen.
Exactly, he's coming from some angle. I mean, even on the Trundle, he was able to pull it off. Like the way he utilized vision, it's such a subtle thing, but it was so smart how he played around the vision that they had spotted getting put down to get that first blood on APA. And on a champion like Jarvan, he can be even more creative here. Can come from more difficult angles to actually anticipate. And it's feeling like already we're kind of going into a similar game as last game, where it's like 100 Thieves are going scaling, they're going like, okay, absorb the engage.
So, Aphelios Fresh. Ich glaube, die sollten Fresh bannen. Die sollten TK bannen, Tam Kench bannen. TK was. TK was.
Which is super interesting, right? Because when we think of 100 Thieves, we think of them as like
TK irgendwas.
skirmish team.
Cordelia spielt Tarek, ich glaube nicht, dass sie ihn spielen werden, aber ja.
How if you looked at those drafts,
Rakan für die 4 wäre geil. Die sollten Rakan bannen.
On the left definitely belongs to 100 Thieves in game 1. It didn't. Another thing I do want to point out, though, is Impact, like blind Renekton is something he kind of often goes towards, and we did see that hover from Sniper on the first pick, so I think that's also might be a little bit of a takeaway, but something he kind of defaults towards in a lot of these scenarios.
Yeah, it's something he's obviously super comfortable on. I like the TK ban. It is kind of an
obvious with the Senna. Ich habe keine Ahnung.
When you're going to fully
towards
dive, I think you really do just have to kind of take that away.
What happened? Ein Throw, guter Teamfight Execution, Snowball. Also eine gute Teamfight Execution mit Team Liquid. Nash bekommen, GG.
Nautilus here on that final ban. But you can also throw protection bans for the Renekton if you are concerned about something that Sniper might bring out.
All right, let's see what we get. And there it is. Yeah, tossing out one of those bruiser versus bruiser matchups.
That's not my flash, so you're not getting me.
True,
hey, Jokes, okay. Ja, da denken sie auch so, zweiter Support lohnt sich nicht.
I'm not going to agree with you guys.
Ergibt Sinn. Fresh Ban?
Wait. You said that's your flash. Wait, you said I also have
Fresh Ban?
I said that is not my flash, so he's not getting it.
It's not your flash.
Und dann ist die One im Westen, ja.
F is for flash.
Yeah.
Anything.
Ich glaube schon. Die hat so einen kranken Ruf.
Exactly.
All right, cool. We're on the same. I was about ready to rate.
Okay, ich sag, die gehen nach Aphelios. Ich glaube, die gehen nach Aphelios Fresh.
So, let's see where we're at.
Und ich bin sehr down.
And Poppy are banned away.
Ich bin sehr down für Aphelios Fresh.
They don't want the steadfast presence to be able to stop any type of big engages that they would want to do. Also stopping some of the engage potential.
Alles da, langweilig.
But we're going to see Core JJ on a classic here, putting him on the Alistar. If you have this team that's ready to full send, Alistar is great for starting up dives, for being the initiator and getting things going, roaming around.
Yeah, this does leave the Nautilus up to pair with the Senna. It also, I'm wondering if they're just kind of waiting to see whether they want to go Jhin or not, because I think Jhin is something that would fit really well within this TL composition. Potentially waiting to just see what the rest of 100 Thieves looks like, the Cassante, and then there's the Nautilus we talked about.
Yeah, this is interesting. You know, they're coming out here, and you would not expect these to be the Sniper champions, right? He's going Sion game 1, he's going Cassante game 2. Last split.
Okay, sind Penner weg da? Ja, ja, ist glaube ich fein.
So, okay. You know, it is a very different.
Ja, Corki, oder? I love Corki,
Into the meta, they have brought on, you know, Dokla as this positional coach. I was talking to him on stage before I interviewed Sniper, and he was saying, you know, that is his role to specifically work with Sniper to help him improve. And you know, maybe this is some of that from Dokla trying to help.
Mag den Draft hier mehr.
Broaden that champion pool.
Mag den Draft hier mehr. Könnte 1-1 werden. Draft ist so insane hier.
Really work out. We'll have to see if they can make it happen here in game number 2.
Yeah, I really think that the Cassante kind of matches closer to what you would expect from Sniper. There is still outplay potential on it. You do still have the ability to flex your mechanics and be a little stylish. Sion walks up, uses his shield on the wave, smacks it, and gets 20 health, right? It doesn't exactly seem like a Sniper champ.
And Sniper has played a lot of Cassante in the past. He just didn't play it last split. So definitely, I do agree. It's kind of more his bread and butter.
Yeah, I was going to say, even out of lane, right? Because I still don't think he looks comfortable as the team's main frontliner, especially in a front-to-back composition like we kind of saw from game 1, right? Once TL were able to separate out a lot of those fights, he wasn't really able to frontline or keep people off of FBI. The Cassante allows a lot more of what I think 100 Thieves kind of want a team fight to look like, kind of splitting things up.
Ja, Game 1 hin und her. Hin und her mit dem dicken Throw.
Based on what has given this team success previously.
It's also interesting to see the final pick here for Jan was the Ezreal. Obviously, there is some dive on the other side that he wants to be aware of. But also, Ezreal can assist on the dive himself, you know, with the True Shot Barrage, throwing that into the back line when you do throw in all of these tools that they have. So it's going to be interesting to see how they want to play these fights out.
Gamba ist offen, noch 30 Sekunden F5 drücken. Gamba ist noch offen.
I feel like he is going to have a target paint on his back. FBI is going to have
Ich mag die 150 mehr.
Those are going to be what everyone on TL is going for, just like in game 1. And while the start was good for 100 Thieves, in those later fights, they were the ones getting zeroed out. They were the ones getting caught and burst down. So we'll see if they can actually keep their carries alive in the second game and push us to a game 3.
And my eyes are on River. He had a good start in the previous game, the level 3 Trundle kill on the Taliyah in mid lane, immediately setting his mid laner up for some success. Now back on his iconic Jarvan. I'm excited to see it again.
From Golden Glue.
7 years ago, Sion Speedway medal. This man was keeping receipts for quite a while.
7 years.
Yeah, that's...
Sion Speedway is a throwback. That was actually a lot of fun. We used to do a lot of competitions where they'd make a race course on Sion, and apparently he won. Kangas, tell us all about it.
Well, we'll get to that one shortly, Azale. But first, I want to reflect on something that Sniper said before Game 1 there, Golden Glue, that with 100 Thieves not around next year, players are playing to get scouted by other teams. How does that affect your role as a coach this split?
I mean, you know, it doesn't change that much for me. It's mainly just everyone's got to be playing their best and perform. It's kind of happening right now. We're fighting, but you know, it's kind of natural where like everyone just wants to do their best and play their best champions, and it's very cohesive with, you know, coaching a team.
All right, well, happy to hear that. Also, I wanted to give you something because you mentioned we don't give a physical coach of the award split anymore, but I had this made for you. So I'm going to put this on to recognize last year coach of
Ich liebe Live-Interviews.
Also, we know that
raus? Ja, Ende des Jahres.
owed you from 7 years ago.
Allegedly, laut rumors,
If we are
Sentinels.
missing anything else, let us know.
Budget placement log.
Rectify that for now. That's us. Back
Sehr
to the
gut.
casters.
Einmal.
All right, thank you very much, everybody. And here we go. We're
so
still
happy.
back to scrap into the 2v2 bottom side as Jan and Core keep the pressure on, and FBI and Ayla are forced away from the wave.
And as they should. I mean, Senna just feels not...
In my humble opinion.
It's not fun to play. Senna herself, I think, is actually pretty fun to play once you get out of this kind of early laning phase, but her early laning is definitely not the power, and it kind of feels bad until you are able to lock in that static Shiv, right? So it does make sense, especially after that level 1, that this Ezreal is kind of shoving them in.
Yeah, and while you are going to get pushed in, you know, as long as you don't actually get killed, trading like this is great for Senna because you're just getting stacks every time that they are going for this. And especially when you're playing Fleet and you can get pass-through queues. If you can get a pass-through queue, you know, through your support onto them, like that is the dream because you're dealing damage, you're killing both you, and you're kind of creating this really health-positive trade here. Jan, though, obviously, he's not feeling threatened in this 2v2. He's playing teleport, so he's going to be playing, 4 tempo. Can, when you get push, sometimes just take this quick base, TP right back, and try to keep the center lane locked. Impact, though.
Immediately, River getting involved once again. Level 3 PvP. 100 Thieves. First blood in the top side.
River ist legit. Also, River ist echt, es ist wirklich, es ist for real sehr schade, dass River retired. Oder halt retiren muss wegen Military Service. Es ist for real insane. Weil der Typ ist so krass.
Impact ends up dying to that gank anyway on the top side. But I always just love that River is constantly trying to find these creative ways. Yeah,
Weil ist so gut.
Is coming off of here. They will see him on that ward, and then I think he just kind of waits it out until he feels like he can go in onto Impact.
Oh yeah, they forced out the slice, and then as soon as he uses that, it just goes right back in. And that's just well played. I mean, I think from that position, Impact is thinking, okay, he's either down by the scuttle or he's like recalling or he's not still going to be there. But getting the slice forced out early there, and then Impact decides because he has no slice, he's not even going to use the flash. I think, at that position, he's making the call that, all right, I'm not actually going to get out here. But that is River Jarvan, to me, most iconic pick. FBI in trouble, though.
Yeah, FBI's got to be careful down.
Ich habe das Gefühl, die Center Lanes, die Inten. Also, Center Lanes, die lieben es einfach zu Inten Mulligan. Ich weiß nicht, also, I guess it's fine. Es ist somewhat okay.
86% KP
right?
over 30-something games. That's nuts.
Wenn du Sets bekommst und nicht dafür stirbst, so. Ja, aber wenn sowas passiert, ist halt fucking dumm. Das darf dir halt nicht passieren, so. No matter what, darf dir nicht passieren.
And even though River's there, he's not going to be able to do anything about it, right? Like, you kind of saw he was potentially getting himself into a position where he'd be able to help out that 2v2. Really great punish coming out of Jan and Core onto FBI and Ayla.
And that's actually pre-teleport, so FBI has to hang around. He can't actually base because he would lose too much on the wave. So we'll see where Jan wants to go. But I want to talk about all of these Ziggs buffs. We saw that the nerf, the ban actually came through. And even though people really associate this pick with APA, it wasn't actually one of the most banned champions against them last split. So I do think we're going to see a lot more Ziggs from APA this split, and we're going to see a lot more attention on it just in pick and ban. Teams are going to be having to ban it out, which can help them because one of the concerns that a lot of people had for TL is how they perform in Fearless. They felt that they were more limited in the different styles that they can actually play. So even if you don't get the Ziggs, the fact that it gets a buff and is drawing bans is already beneficial for them in draft.
Yeah, and as we see, so off of that play, I mean, I just really like the way that TL are using this bot side pressure here, right? Like getting Core out onto the map to lay down vision. They end up with that first Ocean Drake off of these plays they're able to make bot lane. Sniper should be fine, he's Cassante.
And Team Liquid feels confident moving forward and putting the pressure on Sniper like that when he's this close to the turret because he's just barely not level 6. There's no opportunity yet for the real Cassante moment with the all out under the turret. So Core and Jan are just going to keep that pressure building.
Yeah, he hits 6 now, so dive obviously would be difficult. This was a small thing, but I actually love when I see players, going for these little micro plays where as Core was walking towards Sniper, Sniper's obviously going to try to Pathmaker as soon as he goes for the combo. So Core kept hitting S key and stopped moving, so it looks like it's about to start an animation over and over as he was walking towards him. And then once he's really close, he went for the headbutt, and basically Sniper couldn't react in time. So I just thought that was really clever. As it does get the cleanse out. No way he's going to be able to actually chase down and kill.
Auch wieder Klassiker, du Lane swappst und du spielst dann gegen den Toplaner.
And it's just nice seeing players play those minds.
Und der Toplaner hat Level 6 und du hast den Schlaganfall als AD Carry.
People out and create these small advantages.
Okay, we've got 7 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, which means it's about time for the Grubs to spawn. Now, last game, we did see a trade in the Grubs, a 1-2 split, but neither side really wanting to fight over them. Instead, just kind of agreeing that nobody gets the full pot, the full prize in that topside river. This time around...
Wir sind auch wieder zurückgekommen zu, die matchen einfach Lane Swap und dann spielt halt einer AD Carry gegen den Toplaner und die anderen beiden spielen im Duo. Das ist ja auch nicht so ganz, also nicht der größte Point auch. Aber, oh well.
Long while. We'll go ahead and use the sweep board placed down there by 100 Thieves, clear that one out. And they do want to get this last wave shoved up here. You can see Yuji on the Wukong does have ulti, does have flash. APA singing the same song here in mid, and that Wukong Annie combo can be so deadly at neutral objective fights. Now, Young's got to be careful though. Sniper's going all out.
That's AD Carry Classic.
Just go down. Sniper with the
AD Carry Classic. No joke.
We aren't done just yet.
Die lieben es, gegen Toplaner wollen wir noch zu sterben. ist kein Zufall, dass es immer wieder passiert. Das sind alle fucking bad. Die sind alle bad. Das war auch gut, ja, wie auch schon gesagt, aus dem E rausgepult, aber trotzdem. Oh mein Gott, River. Oh mein Gott, wie gewinnt Team Liquid den Oh mein Gott. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious.
Man, multiple times.
Ohne Scheiß.
The timing goes the way of TL. We go back to this bot lane play. It's all about the timing on the all out. Sniper is able to buffer it on Yon and pull him out of the arcane shift, because as soon as you press it, it is going through even after the arcane shift. That is beautifully done. Punishes the missing flash. And now watch the cyclone timing.
For fuck's sake, FPS hat auch komplett Ich glaube, der hat nicht mal Mana für Ulti, oder? Ja, der hat keine Mana für Ulti. Er ist halt komplett NPC. Er ist komplett NPC.
Backline immediately interrupted on it, then couldn't actually get in range to go through on the flag and drag, goes forward, and Impact just flashes on him, immediate punish. FBI doesn't have the damage as Quid gets knocked down to be able to finish off really any of these players. It's just so early in the game. Quid has no damage. He's building towards a catalyst. Like, that's all he has. They can't finish anyone. It's these little plays from TL that make such a difference in that moment. And then, of course, for Sniper on the other side of the map.
Yeah, really good recognition from TL, especially since I think 100 Thieves felt a little bit safe, right? Because they had gotten prio mid from the Victor. They had been able to rotate up and get first crack at those grubs. And this is what I was missing from TL in game one, right? The response and kind of being united in what we want to do. That was a really...
United Rivalry, das war so ein gutes Branding von BMW damals. Diese United Rivalry mit G2 und Fnatic, das war so gut.
One neutral objective away from securing the empowered boots now as well, because they got 2 out of 3 of the grubs, because they got the first Drake. Team Liquid feeling really good about the current state of the game, feeling really good about that spicy grub fight that they got, and the massive dub over 100 Thieves up there as FBI on the Senna, just about to tick 30 stacks, but he's still a long
Genau, Open 9 ab nächste Woche. Ab nächste Woche.
He wants this.
Wirklich.
Let's see what we get. For JJ, hidden away, going in for the headbutt. There it is, pulverize.
Wow.
Now line him up, knock him down.
Wow.
Yon gets the kill there. Now Core JJ should
Das
be
war,
to right, so it'll be a 1 for
das war
1.
ziemlich insane.
AD carry, Team Liquid.
No joke, das war ziemlich insane.
Is the one who gets the kill, so it's even better for them.
Das war ziemlich insane von ihm.
Okay, Impact putting the pressure onto Quid. Is going to need some more damage if he wants a kill there, but nope, not even forcing out the flash. Instead, just taking the tempo and the HP control, as APA's got to be careful. Sniper, again, pressuring, forcing APA to step back.
He flashed for that.
Yeah, I think he thought he was going to be able to get the Q3 slow and then be able to actually get an all-out angle for it, but didn't actually have his Q3 prep, so it was just the Intofo strike slow.
And more importantly, this
Heute der Picasso ist wieder am Werk. Jetzt wieder am Zaubern und Kunstwerk.
TL want to contest. We have Ezreal TPing into mid.
Okay, 100 Thieves with all the control right now, though. It looks like even if TL show up, it's just going to be for a punish, not a true contest on the objective. Sniper here on the front takes a little bit of pain, but honestly, still just shrugging it off. He's feeling fine. Yon, feeling safe enough on his Ezreal, can just arcane shift back over the wall there as 100 Thieves will take the objective and get out safe.
And then crucially on this top side, Impact's Renekton was dirty farming beyond this turret, gets a lot of damage onto this tier 2 turret. In response, kind of decided not to end up TPing in for a dragon contest. When TL are in these kinds of positions, the thing for me that makes them such a strong team is when they're able to set up on the map and kind of leverage different sides of the map to always get an advantage. So even if 100 Thieves does something, they end up with a little bit of a bonus out of it.
And it just feels like a lot, honestly, is going well for TL this game. I kind of expected Quid to have more of a lane lead, you know, in this matchup. Annie often struggles against some of these control mages that can outrange her, where she can't take these good early trades. You can sometimes just kind of get out farmed, poke down slowly. But APA has been doing well. We'll have to be careful as Ayla is moving down to this side of the map. But APA with a slight gold lead early on is going to be feeling pretty happy about his positioning.
Bekommen die Spieler den Victor tot.
TL were just able to out-execute in the team fights last game, even from a deficit. But TL really is looking to just kind of bounce back from last split. You know, they finished 4th overall in 2024 spring. You know, they went first. They obviously won again, you know, in split 1 here as well to go to first stand. And that's kind of the expectations that had been set for them. You know, across last year and coming into this year, it was the story of TL trying to get these big wins internationally. And they kind of fell off pretty hard last split. They really struggled, I think, with the lane swap changes, also with the move towards Fearless. Both those things did seem to hurt.
Haben wir Angst mit einer Cassante?
And we're seeing if they can get this bounce back.
Problem
ist, wenn die so hart snowballen im Midgame, mit diesen ganzen Picks, ja, dann ist der Cassante richtig OP, aber ich sehe halt schon wieder, eine Senna, hier nicht so gut ins Game reinkommt.
Okay, River trying to re-engage now with a core JJ, but he's got to be careful because Yuji's ready to go with a Cyclone. Flashback out from the 100 Thieves jungler, looking to stay safe. As 100 Thieves still staying alive for now. Sniper still up there in that top side, getting things pushed out on the...
Und zu Burns, wenn Ezreal out of Kontrolle spiked, 3 Items Spike early hittet, kann der schon mit Cassante so einigermaßen dealen. Einigermaßen. Und die haben sehr viel Ammo-Pen, ne? Backclear bei Impact, sein Ammo-Pen, Q von Wukong Ammo-Pen. Dann irgendwie werden sie den Shutdown bekommen, wenn die genug mitgeben, snowballen und acceleraten. Und bisher ist weiter behind, weil die richtig gefickt wurde.
Easy to forget, but
die wurde richtig gefickt.
About FlyQuest now is the way that people were talking about TL last year, right? They were talking about TL as, okay, they're on the precipice of taking down these big Eastern teams. You know, multiple times they took T1 last year to 3 games in a best of 3. You know, they were really...
Seiner 6 hat MSI, habt ihr gesehen? Er hat 20, 50, 6 bei 20 Minuten.
These changes came in,
Solider Average, 50, 55.
They weren't even really at the top of the LTA. So we're seeing, can they get back to those winning ways here and topple teams like FlyQuest to even get a crack at the teams that they were looking for last year, like T1.
Yeah, and I do like some of the things I've seen out of them more in this game, right? Like a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more cohesion. One thing that did happen while we were going through that, as just land tippers on Quid, is that Impact had TP'd back down, so he is not going to have it for this fight.
Okay,
dass der Tibbers... Okay, Tibbers resettet noch. Okay, man kann sagen. Boah, 5 gegen 4, wenn die stallen können, ist gut. Schaut auf Impact. Impact braucht noch ein paar Sekunden hin. River ist komplett alleine. Yawn hat Flash, kommt der raus. Oh, Impact kommt mit Ulti, Flash über die Wand. Oh. Wow. Wow. Und schaut auf Wukong. Wow.
But finally, Sniper falls. River reinforced by Quid, and the Wukong dies before we can get another heal. Now FBI still trying to escape, but Core JJ is ready to cut off that path. Team Liquid should get this last kill here in the fight. Impact gets the stun. So 3 kills for 2, favoring...
Ja, die Annie killt den Cassante auf jeden Fall nicht. Das haben wir gerade ausgefunden.
What a crazy split fight with Yawn kind of flanking as Ezreal.
Ganz runter an. Ich vermute mal, ne?
Playing with fire, waiting for Impact to be
able to... heute bei dir so, Rede Raffa.
Rede Raffa.
Weiß schon wieder, was du Passing gemeinst, mein Freund.
He is so aggressive in just getting damage onto here, and you see Impact...
Das heißt, wenn er lange funktioniert, haben wir holt so viel Zeit, dass schon mal wieder den Teamfight splittet. Das ist insane oder nicht? Und ja, APA links oben. APA kriegt den auf jeden Fall nicht down, den Cassante.
I really love this. I mean, Impact on the other side, you know, getting a lot of work done. Obviously, as he arrives, Yawn bought so much time, and the way that he played the angles, flashing over the wall, you know, not giving a hook angle to Ayla, really made things tough there.
Okay, 100 Thieves now back after the next objective, though. It's time for another scrap if Team Liquid wants it. 100 Thieves still with control over the pit, and they will secure themselves their second Drake of the game. Core JJ wrapping around, looking for a flank angle here. River jumps back over the wall, though, and finally Core shows him.
Schön von Core JJ. Beautiful. Ich schwöre, Core JJ hat heute eine insane Series.
100 Thieves are going back to the safety of the turrets. Team Liquid patiently wait. They spring the trap. And now that they've got the kill on that enemy mid laner, now that they've killed off the wave clear, they can force their way down mid, take out the tier 1 turret, and they're putting pressure on the tier 2.
Also was macht Core JJ heute mit denen? Ohne Scheiß, was macht er heute mit denen? Dann jetzt noch River. Voll up CC. What the fuck? Also FR, was zieht er heute mit denen ab? Jesus.
River mopped up in the jungle as Team Liquid continues their retreat.
Also heute legit auf World Champion Contender Trip, was er über. Das sind 10. Nach TL noch jemand? Yes, wir haben noch Shopify Rebellion gegen das Dignitas. Noch ein Best of 3. Saß, die haben keine Drakes und das macht mir ein wenig Sorgen für Team Liquid. Das haben vielleicht doch in die Area kommen, wo sie genug Items bekommen.
I mean, he's playing on that Razor's edge, and now they're going to TP here onto Sniper.
Yeah, Sniper wanted the kill on APA.
Haben die genug Damage für den? Okay, vielleicht als 4-Mann. Ja, 4-Mann-Spot. Ja, haben sie, okay. Also sie haben halt wirklich insane viel Armor, ne? Also ich glaube, der Cassante wird erstmal nicht so ein großes Problem sein. Project hat schon mal höher gespielt, ja.
And Impact in this series has been very effective, and he is coming off of what was a surprising split. To me, it was one of the worst.
Sehr bad. Also ich habe mehrmals gecallt, so das könnte auch letztes Jahr von Impact sein. Habe ich mehrmals gesagt.
In professional play here, you know, the rankings against his own self. So, you know, 22 as far as the damage per minute per difference. You know, his laning was not as strong. He had almost no solo kills, you know, throughout the entire split. And you need to see him playing at his best because he was such a core component of TL's success in that previous year. Winning MVP just like
that. Vielleicht liegt, wenn ich jeden Fight am Gewinnen am Drake. Oh mein Gott, River. Oh mein Gott, River. Was gut ist, so bad. Guck euch FBI an, den NPC.
100 Thieves. They had their goal. They barely got it.
Und den Fight gewinnen, ja.
Von,
theoretisch.
River, Quid, Ayla, FBI, the whole squad's down here except for Sniper, who's trying to defend up in the top lane against the counter pressure from Team Liquid. 100 Thieves trying to get as much gold off of this as they can, and they will brute force their way through the Tier 1 turret.
I don't hate this from 100 Thieves, right? Just kind of overloading a side where they recognize they can make a play, dropping that Herald, trying to draw more even with TL. APA is going to be able to clean up this Tier 2 turret in mid, though.
Yeah, and one of the big concerns is FBI has just been struggling to even get farm, right? He's at 130 CS at 20 minutes, which for a professional level...
Das Mosquito-Bild 2.0, ich meine, es ist ja literally der Mosquito-Bild, den du auch gegangen bist.
He does have a lot of stacks because they have been scrapping quite a bit. You know, he's at
ja, ich glaube halt wirklich, also einer im Chat meinte, dass du das Wave Clear mit Kraken nicht mal so bad ist, also ohne Static quasi, ich weiß nicht. I don't know.
This Senna is not the cannon that 100 Thieves needs right now. Static Shiv, the only fully completed item here. Quid at least does have his Leandry's fully completed, Rod nearly fully stacked. Core JJ fully engaging onto River as the 100 Thieves jungler's been caught out. The chain CC locks him up long enough for Yon's true shot barrage.
Core JJ ist so gehonored. Core JJ ist so gehonored.
Kill there on the 100 Thieves jungler, but there's not a whole lot they can earn off the back of it right now. Yes, Otacon is alive, but...
Und Cleaver Second, die wollen, glaube ich, früher, also die wollen Range Discrepancy ausgleichen, die wollen früher spiken.
That's what's in the sights of Impact and UG as they're moving up there as a two-man unit. Everybody else on TL still keeping 100 Thieves' eyes down here in the river in mid lane.
Yeah, we'll see Impact peeling off of it.
Otacon is getting low.
Yeah.
They've just kind of been slowly doing this. I mean, you can solo this thing if they don't come. 100 Thieves is showing up, but...
Ja, River hat, UG hat minus 50, Armor minus 50. Oh mein Gott, das ist... Oh. Bro, wie insane ist Core JJ. Ich schwöre, was macht er mit den Gegnern? Ey, er ist so krank. Das Krokodil ist auch Balance auf 2 Items. Wow, wirklich. Core JJ und Impact machen hier so solo.
And Team Liquid finds another back-breaking fight in the top side river.
And you may have been distracted by Impact kind of going in, right, and finding Quid, but Yon just immediately dove on to FBI, absolutely destroyed him. The impact he's having on this now 4-1-7 Ezreal, really playing so aggressively in a lot of these team fight setups is paying off dividends for TL.
I mean, Yon is looking insane in both of
Es ist nicht Yon, weil schaut auf Core JJ schon wieder, was der hier macht.
You called it out. It's Yon.
Geiler Engage, Impact auf einer geilen Flank.
Look at Yon get super aggressive into FBI. FBI is just trying to step
Natürlich, also jetzt Yon pumpt hier Damage raus, das ist egal, aber der Initial Engage und der Flank und so wie die Fight-Setup ist so gut, ja. Das ist so insane.
Running over 100 Thieves. They cannot stop him whatsoever, and this game is looking like it is pretty much all wrapped up At this point, Jan is 3 levels ahead of FBI. He's the same level as the guy with the full stack Roa.
And now Impact's leading the charge again. CoreJJ right behind them, and Quid is down. Jan on a rampage. Team Liquid, they have found their lead, and they are absolutely suffocating 100 Thieves with it. The Thieves don't get a chance to breathe, even in their own side of the map. Team Liquid has taken over everything. They're laying down the vision. They're making the map dark. They're taking all the camps, and 100 Thieves can't scrounge up a lot.
And I'm so glad you brought up Impact, Azael, earlier, right? Because I feel like we talked about this kind of something he goes to often. 100 Thieves actually did target it early, right? With that super early level 3 River gank. But once again,
aber Jan ist schon sehr gut, ne? Also das darf man nicht underraten. Jan ist schon sehr, sehr gut auch.
Has been massive. He's really recognized, okay, we need to take Quid out immediately. He's constantly diving the back line. And that is what is leaving so much space open for Jan to play as aggressively as he has.
Oh boy, Ayla not finding what he wanted there with the brush.
Der Bang Bus geht schon wieder los.
CoreJJ putting plenty of damage into the Nautilus. Not enough to kill him here just yet. True Shot Barrage nearly does it. Team Liquid just barely miss out on getting a kill there. But nowhere is safe. That is the brush right next to your base wall. And Ayla nearly gets killed 100-0 just for having the audacity to face check.
I mean, Jan is over 3,000 gold ahead of FBI at this point. It's going to need a lot of stacks to make up for that deficit. And Jan is just playing so aggressive with it. It's really nice seeing TL come out so confident in how they are playing these games. I think they started a little bit slow, a little bit shaky. Once they started going, they were crushing it on their execution in those fights. And in game 2, they are just looking amazing.
Ich kann River reinkicken sogar. Ja. Nicht der Q kommt wieder ab für CoreJJ. EP lebt. EP lebt. EP hat kein Flash. EP ist tot. Okay. Geht nicht weiter, ne? Nee.
Yeah, and they just
Kann er genug sehen, kann das Game noch drehen. Ja, I mean, die kommt von denen Skate, ist schlecht, right? Kommt von denen Skate überhaupt nicht schlecht.
I mean, this is kind of what 100 Thieves have to do to stay in the game, right? Like, try to either overload one side and take someone out in a side lane if they're like trying to reset waves, or end up finding a pick like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Jan is massively ahead. Impact is massively ahead. They knew Impact had no TP, and he's showing up elsewhere on the map. So you can try to overload one side, force the play there, look for that punish. You know, TL trying to do a little bit too much.
Also ja, theoretisch klar, wenn Senna 140 Seelen hat, ey, da können wir anfangen drüber zu reden, aber kriegt die 140 Seelen in dem Game? I don't know, Kevin.
But at the very least, they didn't even get his flash.
Ich vermute mal, hier kommt bald ein Nash-Start.
That big of a deal. It is a bit of kill gold, but Baron wasn't enough. There was nothing for them to really.
Ich vermute, hier kommt bald ein Nash-Start. Cyril, das ist jetzt fertig bei Ezreal.
Way too risky to try to go for that Baron, so it's just going to be back to this kind of same position once more. And TL are going to be setting up around that Baron, while 100 Thieves are just going to be trying to establish as much vision control as they can to stop TL if they start it.
So, I mean, what is the 100 Thieves game plan at this point? Is it just fit?
Das Sniper jetzt Spieler Armor kaufen, ich glaube Stats. So, das sollte, also er gejuggt schon, das ist richtig.
That's about all they can do, but Team Liquid's making it hard, man. The True Shot Barrage from Jan just took off about 45% of FBI's health in one shot. Not exactly a great time to be dealing with this Ezreal. So powerful, so much damage, just constantly firing out this poke, making it so obnoxious for anybody from 100 Thieves to try to step forward and figure out what Team Liquid is up to. UG is finally going to pop the sweeper there. See that he was on top of a ward. Ayla finds CoreJJ with a dredge line, but the supports aren't going to result in a whole lot here just yet.
Boah, der geht rein wieder. Wow. CoreJJ hat noch Flash, er kann Q'en und dann flashen. Er flasht nicht mal. What the fuck? Dieser cocky Motherfucker. EP wird eingegangen, River wird weggekickt. Lol, CoreJJ hat umgebracht. Schaut auf Jan. Oh mein Gott. Wow, wenn ich bumst.
100 Thieves are out of there, and
well played.
Liquid.
Ist over. 40 Sekunden. Wow. Well played. Das war eine richtig krass. Das Game, also erste Game umkämpft, zweites Game war richtig krass von Team Liquid. Vor allem dieser Typ hier. Ist nicht over? Ja. Dieser Typ hier ist der Typ Fick. Nein. Oh, JJ sollte MVP bekommen. Nein.
What a performance on this Ezreal.
Nein, was für eine Performance von dem S, von Alistar. Alistar sollte MVP bekommen, der ist so krank.
You know, will be able to go in. Alistar survives for a very long time, and it allows them to come in on the flank, on the back half of this.
Also ja, Yawn macht richtig viel Damage, aber schaut auf Cordial, was er hier macht.
Watch Yawn through this entire sequence.
Yeah, this is so sick. So he's going to shift over into the pit here, hits the Q to get the kill, and Sniper says, no, I'm going to turn on you, flashes over the wall to go for him. He flashes back over the wall, in onto FBI, helps to finish him off as well. Yawn is playing to the limit. He's playing on the knife's edge, and 100 Thieves are the only ones getting cut.
100 Thieves falling apart in the fight there. I mean, they were already down 6,000 gold at the beginning of the fight. That's very difficult to play. There's a reason that they were so far out of where they needed to be in that fight. Team Liquid capitalized. The gold lead
now. Auch noch kasten, weiß ich nicht.
We're up to 9,000.
Keine Ahnung, kommt drauf an, ob Tolle wieder selber machen will oder nicht.
And there's just not a whole
Ich habe keinen Schimmer.
for 100 Thieves to come back.
Er hat mir nichts geschrieben oder so, also ich vermute mal, stand jetzt, dass er selber casten wird.
From TL on the siege, I
think.
TL usually when they're in position don't make those mistakes. We'll see if 100 Thieves are able to get onto them. This should be a clean win for TL. As
jetzt gerade auch gewacht, du fucking Degen, fuck. Bleib wenigstens wach bis morgen um 20 oder so. Bleib wenigstens wach bis um 20 und geh dann schlafen.
Impact, keeping the bottom lane enchanted while most of the pressure is in mid from the other 4 players on TL. The mid lane tier 3 turret down to about 10-15% of its HP. The next
dann drückt mir jetzt wenigstens ein Twitch Prime ab.
Force this down. River waiting between the 2 lanes. Ayla goes in again. But once more, it's only on a Core JJ. Counterattack from Team Liquid as Core and Yuji jump in, but they don't want to overcommit. River jumps out of the base off to the side, but Impact's the only available target, and the Renekton is very powerful. Team Liquid backing up a little bit.
Realbergleit hat gerade mit Prime abonniert.
23 Uhr auf, ist mir egal. Aber geht trotzdem nicht, also bleibt trotzdem wach bis 20 Uhr und geh dann schlafen.
They can spend all of their gold here and look to actually play for this dragon. You know, nearly 2K in the pockets of Yawn. There's a good 1,300 in the pockets for APA as well. So they want to buy before they actually fight once more. So they're going to move themselves here to Soul Point. And this is total damage done. I asked for this because I had a suspicion that Yawn was going to be doing a lot of damage. And
Jesus, der pumpt Damage raus.
Doing a lot. This guy has been on point on the Ezreal. Once he got the lead,
BK hat gerade für 4 Monate abonniert.
if they send everything on him, he has the mobility to get out, to stay safe, to stay alive. And it's just making it so impossible, I feel like, for 100 Thieves to play around.
I will also say, I think, I want to give credit to both Impact and Yuji as well for being that kind of front line, able to keep, you know, Sniper.
BK hat lange auch von der 11. so redet. Ich komme einfach nicht raus, laufen, wenn ich voll du Prime-Subs jedes Mal.
Boy hat gerade mit Prime abonniert.
Noch jemand einen Prime-Pub?
Ich komme einfach nicht raus.
Noch jemand Geld? Wir sind bei 1300 Subs und noch. Es sind dunkle Zeiten hier gerade in Hogwarts. Es sind sehr dunkle Zeiten in Hogwarts gerade.
That situation right there could have gotten so much crazier very, very quickly. Yuji just jumping in, popping his powerful cooldowns to clear out the camp. Meanwhile, the entire time, Ayla is just praying that nobody steps into the brush and notices that he's there.
Dann check mal, ob deine CPU-Killer verbunden ist mit deinem CPU.
He's lucky to get out alive, but the Team Liquid pressure continues now. At least there's no more Baron for 100 Thieves.
Mein Sound off? Ist er? Der Mikro wird, oder? Was geht's?
Nothing outside of their own base. Team Liquid is continuing this plan, and remember, back when Team Liquid was the best squad in the league, they would get their leads,
oder was ist das?
the enemy jungle, they would choke you out of vision and just win by snowballing resources. And right now, that snowball has turned.
Ach so, du meinst, der ist bei Gegifteten. Ab einem Gegifteten, das meinst du? Ja, der ist ab einem, also bei Gegifteten.
I will say one positive thing for 100 Thieves. 100 stacks now for the Senna. So Senna definitely is scaling. Of course, they are massively behind. They're 10,000 gold down. There is going to be Soul in 3 minutes that they have to answer. But if they can somehow keep holding on, you maybe have that kind of hope, but realistically, TL should be able to close out this game with the next Baron, and I think that is going to be the question for 100 Thieves. Can you somehow stop them from getting that Baron? Can River get a miracle steal to delay the game? Because if not, the gold lead is so massive.
Man, Senna's gonna need another 100 stacks if you've got a Renekton and a Wukong with a Cloud Soul going after her. That is a nightmare scenario. She needs to be 2 screens away just to have a chance. As Team Liquid continuing to keep Ayla once again. These
Ja, bestimmt.
only for Core JJ. We consistently see them find the Alistar, but nobody else on Team Liquid is giving Ayla the angle to hit anything. Now Impact trying to back away here.
Impact ist halt nicht tot, niemand zu nehmen.
Drops the dominance as soon as he sees River commit the Cataclysm. But they just don't hurt him. The Croc gets away.
And in the meantime, TL are just pushing in on the spot side. They're going to take bot inhibitor off of that.
Yeah, freebie there for Team Liquid, but now the rest of the fight might start heating up. No, Sniper still just fine here on the front line with the Pathmaker, but TL using Impact as the distraction. Now Ayla's in danger. Core JJ jumps right over the wall. They find the enemy support. Nautilus out of the picture means a 5v4 for TL. They've got Tibbers to lead the charge towards the Nexus turrets. They're waiting on the minion waves too. They've already cleared the inhibitors out in 2 lanes, and now they're grouped up. Ready for what might be the very end of the game here. Chaos Storm has to get committed. Yuji jumps right back in on Quid. The Victor's down and Yawn in.
Komplettes MVP-Game von Core JJ. Auch wenn Ayla vielleicht hier, wenn Yawn vielleicht hier MVP bekommt. Wir wissen, dass es Core JJ war. Wir wissen, dass es Core JJ war.
Team Liquid find another as River tries to kill the wave, and Yawn kills FBI on the steps of his own fountain with one last Mystic shot. Ayla respawns just in time to see the ruins of his base and the corpses of his team, and he'll join them once more. APA gets that last kill, maybe just one more for good.
Game 2 war sehr, 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 sehr krass von Team Liquid. Solo-Gesang-Emote. Welches Team hat an den Füße setzen? Sentinels, apparently. Laut Rumors. GG.
Congrats to Team